Eventually, Jack and Helen settled down in Pasadena, where Parsons got a day job at the Halifax Powder Company, because apparently California was fucking full of dynamite factories at this point in time.
Sure.
But since they were now permanently in Pasadena, Parsons could devote even more time to his rocketry work at Galsett. But since Parsons' entire life was explosives and propulsion at this point, he spent all the money he made on rockets and rocket accessories. And Helen was in a constant battle with her husband just to meet the basic cost of living because he spent all their fucking money on rockets.
Literal, like, he would have been in another world. He sounds like Timothy McVeigh. Like, this is a more quote unquote like innocent time where it was like they would literally eat on barrels of dynamite. Like, there was shit, like, their home was filled with explosive material.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, at one point, like, his wife is in the back of his car, and she just discovered loose sticks of dynamite back there.
Yeah, just hanging
that he
out.
Just casually tossed, like, so many half-eaten dollar menu cheeseburgers.
Wow.
There's where those were. I was looking for those.
Another time, Parsons was working in the makeshift explosives lab on the back porch of the home he and Helen shared when he got a call that his grandmother was being rushed to the hospital. But at the same time, he was heating up a large vat of explosives.
You really don't want to be startled at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he handed a spatula to Helen and told her to keep stirring and under no circumstances stop until he came back, presumably without telling her what would happen if she stopped.
Do you want me to get you a coffee too, or you just keep stirring? Honestly, don't look at me. Just keep stirring.
However, even though Parsons could be thoughtless, he was also generous and good-natured. He was prone to adopting stray animals. He had a little owl that he adopted, and he eventually domesticated it, and he had a pet owl that would hang around.
That's cool, man. I want an owl, dude.
Yeah. And this, of course, extended to stray people as well, and Parsons usually left Helen to be the villain who had to kick these dudes out of their house.
Yeah, and that would be a running theme.
Mm-hmm. But while Parsons was spending all his money on rockets and rocket accessories, he and his partner spent what little time off they had from their day jobs scrounging Southern California for spare parts. Eventually, they had enough to complete their first rocket, and they chose Halloween 1936 as the date of their first test.
Well, that's kind of romantic. They're little treasure hunters together. Isn't that nice?
They're scavengers.
It's like Borderlands.
It's to build a giant bomb, so it's fun.
It's awesome. It's not a bomb, it's a rocket.
Well, let's just say at the time, it's a bomb in a tube.
It could become a bomb.
From a bomb, yeah.
Make anything a bomb. I'll make a bomb right now.
Well, in a location,
just did.
Yeah. So did you.
Fuck you.
In a location in the northern area of the Arroyo Seco near Devil's Gate Dam, the trio almost set themselves on fire in a failed launch. Yes, they did. But 15 days later, they tried again with greater success. By January, they'd gotten their rocket motor to fire long enough without exploding that they were allowed to come out of the desert to perform rocket motor tests on the Caltech campus. Albeit but they did still have to do so without funding.
Yeah, just blowing his money. Blowing whatever's left.
Well, they had to pawn Helen's engagement ring.
Yeah.
And they got Helen to request cash advances from her job so they could pay for rocket parts.
Cool-ass wife. Cool-ass wife.
Well, eventually she did become sick enough of being their bankroll that she made Parsons and Foreman dust and sweep her entire house before she would give them $5 for a rocket part.
Well, there you go. That's good.
Yeah, just get even
when you tell Egon Spengler that he has to mop the house to do it, you're not getting a great job. No, that's the problem too. Is that that they're all like talking, they're barely doing it, and you're just like, all right, here's your fucking $5. Like, thank you for the attempt.
But as Parsons, Foreman, and Molina began their work on campus, they picked up another crew member, a Chinese graduate student named Qian Shu Sen. I believe it's Qian Su. Yeah. Qian Su Sen. Yeah. And the rocket research group was officially recognized by Galsett as a fully financed project.
Whoa.
So now that Chian was a part of the group and money was coming into play, Parsons could now pull off bigger and therefore more dangerous experiments, and their reputation for playing with fire in very public ways earned them a nickname on campus. Soon they were being called the Suicide Squad.
It's
Whoa,
fun
that's
as hell.
amazing.
It's fun as hell. They were legitimately a dangerous group of people to be around, and not even in a bad way. It was just in the honest name. There's just something about it. I love that idea, like the honest name of science, just being like, we're blowing shit up today, and they go outside and they just like strap a bomb to it, see what happens, and they're all like watching with binoculars while things just explode all around them. It was very dangerous.
Suicide Squad.
In their first big fuck up, they managed to kill all the grass on the front lawn of the chemistry building with an experimental liquid that exuded highly toxic and potentially fatal vapors.
I just love when cartoon characters are real.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. The thing about history is that certain things pop up and you wonder where they come from. And you're like, just this idea that they were all like these bumbling mad scientists. I mean, that's all real.
In another fuck-up, they tested a rocket in the staircase of the Galset building, and that rocket, of course, malfunctioned. And it spread a corrosive fog that left a layer of rust on every metal surface, which the Rocketeers had to scrub off while the faculty and the janitorial staff stared them down.
Oh, wow.
Other times, members of the Suicide Squad would just lightly blow themselves up. And when someone heard any sort of loud pop on campus, they'd run to their window to see if one of the squad had accidentally killed themselves. But so most of the time, they would literally see them lying on the grass, like blackened and charred like Wile E. Coyote.
That's awesome.
That's a great day to be in college.
Yeah, because they'd blow themselves out of rooms through windows.
Wow.
Yeah, like through windows and shit. And then and that's just the power of being like 20. Where you can get up and be like, whoa, like, you know, like with the goggles on, with your hair sticking up, and like, it's cool. We're like, I can't get out of this chair right now.
No, not too quickly. Absolutely. Wow, these guys had what a crazy time for college kids, huh? We had 9/11. So I guess we saw a little bit more than they did.
A bit of a
crazy.
rocketry experiment in and of itself.
Yeah.
But interestingly, the Suicide Squad, and particularly Jack Parsons' expertise in explosives, would have real-world consequences in the world of true crime and civic corruption. This story is amazing. In the 1930s, Los Angeles was under the thumb of a corrupt mayor named Frank Shaw. Shaw was under investigation by an anti-corruption advocate named Cliff Clinton, and Clinton had tapped an LAPD officer named Harry Raymond to investigate. In the middle of the investigation, though, Raymond got in his car, turned the key, and was damn near killed by a car bomb.
No.
Okay. Ooh, man, this is like, that's good 1930s juice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, all signs pointed towards Police Chief Earl Kynette as being behind the assassination attempt, because Kynette was not only a well-known crony of Mayor Shaw, but he had also been found with a garage full of materials that had probably been used to construct a car bomb.
No. This is my
a-
collection. It's just a collection of dynamite and bomb material. It's a collection. Do I need to arrest you? Because I can. I am literally the police chief.
Yeah. I mean, it's possibly circumstantial. So,
Sure.
to prove that those materials could in fact be the same that were used in the attempted murder of Harry Raymond, the prosecution went to Caltech and asked, hey, you got anybody that can explain this to us? And they said, fuck yeah, send in Jack Parsons.
Send in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Parsons was easily able to build the exact same bomb the police chief had built by extrapolating from the materials found in the garage. And he even took the jury out to a testing site to use the car bomb to blow up a car.
And just to make sure that you
this
all
is
know
all
I'm being
nerd boners across the fucking board.
and just so you know I'm being 100% accurate with this, as you can see, this bottle of scotch is half gone because I know for a fact that sheriff did this well intoxicated. So, Chuck, and now let's test the bomb.
It's because again, one thing about Jack Parsons, as you'll see, is that he did like attention. Like he did like it. There was a showman aspect, which is where I think the magical shit really comes in.
I think
Yeah.
people who explode things for fun often like attention. I think so.
And when the damage in the test was found to be nearly identical to the damage to Raymond's car, Chief Kynette was sent to jail. That was
No
all
shit.
Jack Parsons. Now, around this time, possibly boosted by his own slight celebrity, Jack Parsons began to build himself into a bit of a legend. To promote his group's ideals of rocketry and to gain additional funding, Parsons began to work on a novel that he planned to sell to MGM Studios for an adaptation, a story of espionage, murder, and organized labor.
That was
Isn't
back
that
when
a-
the Union movie was big. But then the problem is that you also then get investigated for your politics really hard during the time period too, if you're super pro-union.
Yeah, as opposed to now where everything is so pure and clean.
yes.
But it's just so cute. He was like, I wrote a screenplay. I intend to sell it to MGM, not realizing that they just say no.